Okay, let's picture this. It's a quiet Sunday morning, Wayne, Michigan. You know, the kind of morning, peaceful, still
Mm-hmm.
inside Crosspoint Community Church. You've got the sunlight coming through the stained glass. Maybe 150 people, families, kids, just gathered for worship.
A typical Sunday service,
Yeah.
a place of sanctuary.
Exactly. Total peace. And then, just like that, it's shattered. Gunfire. Sharp cracks. Unmistakable.
Red outside.
Yeah. A man, rifle, tactical gear, opens fire right there. I mean, the immediate terror for everyone inside,
Yeah.
their safe space, suddenly.
Suddenly, ground zero, a target.
A target. It's horrifying to even imagine.
And the thing is, what started unfolding there, it wasn't some random isolated tragedy. Unfortunately not.
No.
It really serves as a stark, a very real example of this threat that's been growing, that's documented. And it's hitting communities, especially, faith-based communities, harder and harder.
Right.
So our mission today in this deep dive is really to understand how organizations facing this kind of danger are moving past fear, how they're turning that fear into,
Well,
into proactive protection.
protection that actually saves lives.
Exactly. We need to peel back the layers, look at the threats, yes, but maybe more importantly, look at the responses, the strategic, human-led actions making a difference.
That's such a key point. Transforming fear into action. Which brings us to the core question, really. How did they avoid a mass tragedy in Michigan that morning? What specific things happened? What lessons were learned that led to such a different outcome than we sadly often hear about?
And what can we all learn from it?
Yes. What can we take away to make our own spaces, our own communities safer? This isn't just recounting a story. It's about digging into preparedness, into prevention. What happens before the chaos?
Because that before part, that's what changes the outcome.
Definitely. So let's really get into the details of Crosspoint because, I mean, it could have been absolutely devastating.
It really could have. The potential was there.
But it wasn't. Despite everything, the gunfire, the attacker ready to go, the aftermath tells a different story. It's about resilience, yes, but also readiness.
That readiness factor is key.
Okay, one security guard was injured. That shows the danger was real, immediate. But listen to this. 0 worshipers harmed inside. 0.
Incredible considering the circumstances.
And the attacker stopped, neutralized before he even got through the doors. He couldn't carry out whatever horrific plan he had.
And one thing our source material really stresses is that this positive outcome, it wasn't, and I quote, just a miracle.
Right. It wasn't just luck or chance.
No. While, faith and hope are central to these communities, this specific outcome was a direct result of very concrete things: training, preparation, and decisive action.
Training, preparation, decisive action. That really shifts the narrative, doesn't it?
It completely does. It moves away from this idea that safety in these moments is, just fate. It argues that outcomes are shaped, maybe even determined, by what you do beforehand.
So the Michigan incident becomes proof, almost. Proof that planning, practicing, it genuinely works. It can change the course of an attack.
Absolutely. It turns potential catastrophe into a contained event. It's about empowerment through foresight, really, not helplessness.
We can't always stop someone trying to attack.
But we can potentially stop it from becoming a mass casualty event. That's the crucial difference preparedness makes.
And that's a stark contrast to the broader picture, sadly, because these attacks on places of worship, they aren't rare anymore.
Far from it.
If we look at the bigger trend, the numbers are just alarming. The faith-based security network says attacks on religious institutions are up over 80% just in the last decade.
80%. Let that sink in. It's not just a number. It's communities, real people, grappling with this new, terrifying vulnerability.
Yeah. Places that always felt safe, sacred.
Exactly. These spaces were, for so long, considered sacred and untouchable.
Yeah.
Sanctuaries, refuge, almost universally off-limits to violence.
Even during conflicts, historically.
Right. But now they become symbolic targets. Targets for hate, for extremism, sometimes for severe mental illness. It's a profound shift.
And the psychological impact, I mean, how does that change a community?
It forces this incredibly difficult reevaluation. Trust, safety, the very feeling of being secure in your spiritual home. It's shaken. Leaders, members, everyone has to face this new reality. The innocence is gone, in a way.
Which must create this awful tension for faith leaders, this uncomfortable balance.
Oh, absolutely.
Between their core mission, right? Being open, welcoming everyone, offering solace,
Yeah.
and the need for physical security. How do you keep the doors open, metaphorically and literally, while also preparing for, well, the absolute worst?
It's a profound struggle, a heavy burden.
Hmm.
They're trying to reconcile two seemingly opposite things, spiritual openness and physical defense.
Can they even coexist in today's world?
Well, the source material gives a pretty blunt answer. It says, the question is no longer if, it's when.
Wow, that's sobering.
It is. And it's not meant to scaremonger. It's based on the trends, the documented incidents. It's a reality check.
And it leads to that other crucial line.
Hope is not a plan.
Right. You can't just hope it won't happen to you.
No. You need proactive, tangible measures. You need them before anything happens. It's like, think about fire drills. You don't just hope a fire doesn't start.
You practice. You
Yep.
know the exits, the procedures.
Exactly. Without a plan, hope evaporates pretty quickly in a crisis. For these communities, it's about building preparedness around their faith so the worship, the community, the mission can continue safely.
Enabling peace through preparedness. I like that.
It's the only way forward, it seems.
Okay, so if Michigan wasn't luck, but readiness, what did that readiness actually look like? What were the specific pieces?
It wasn't just one thing or one person. It was layers, a combination of planned responses and prepared individuals.
Like a coordinated effort.
Precisely. And some of it was quite unconventional. Take the train beacon.
Right, the source mentioned him. What did he do?
He used his vehicle to disrupt the attacker's advance.
His car. He used his car.
Yeah, think about that. Not drawing a weapon, not tackling him necessarily, but using what was available, his vehicle, to intervene, to create a barrier, buy time.
That's incredible presence of mind. And it speaks to the value of training, doesn't it? Even if you're not security.
Absolutely. His training allowed him to see the threat, yes, but also to see an opportunity, an unconventional one, and act decisively. It shows how broad-based training can unlock resourcefulness under pressure.
Okay, so that's one layer. What else?
Then you had the more formal layer. The on-site security team trained to respond with lethal force if necessary.
This is where it gets into the difficult decisions. Armed security in a house of worship.
It is difficult,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's deemed essential. Having people who are prepared, authorized, and trained to use lethal force, it's a critical deterrent, and potentially the only way to stop an active killer immediately.
And that training is intense, I imagine, not just shooting.
Oh, far beyond just marksmanship. It's threat assessment, legal boundaries, decision-making under extreme stress, the psychological weight. They've rehearsed scenarios, they understand the law, they're mentally prepared. It makes them effective protectors, not just bystanders.
So you have the quick-thinking deacon, the trained security team. What about everyone else?
That's the next layer. The source says it was a community that had rehearsed the unimaginable and responded with calm under pressure.
Rehearse the unimaginable. That phrase really hits home.
It does. It points to the power of drills, clear protocols, making sure everyone, from ushers to people in the pews, knows what to do. It builds that muscle memory for crisis.
So panic doesn't take over. People can act effectively, collectively.
Exactly. It overrides that freeze response, allows for coordinated action, saves seconds, saves lives.
When you put it all together like that, the deacon, the team, the community drills,
Yeah.
you see how it builds up.
It's a layered defense, like concentric walls of a fortress. Each layer makes it harder for the threat to reach the core. Vigilance outside, access control, internal teams, safe zones, communication, multiple chances to stop or slow an attack.
But creating that kind of layered defense, this requires a serious commitment, right?
Oh, definitely. It raises that crucial question. What's the real investment needed? Time for training, significant resources for equipment, professional guidance.
And maybe the biggest thing, a shift in mindset.
Yes, a fundamental shift. Fostering a culture where safety is openly discussed, practiced, prioritized. It's not just buying cameras. It's embedding readiness into the community's DNA.
So for places looking to make that investment, to achieve that level of readiness, where do they turn? Our source mentions Valor Tech.
Yes, Valor Tech comes up as a key example of an organization providing this specialized guidance.
They're described as a Florida-based licensed security academy. That licensing part sounds important. It gives them credibility.
It absolutely does. It means they adhere to recognized standards, rigorous training protocols. They're not just consultants, they're an academy.
And the people doing the training.
That's their core strength.
Yeah.
The instructors have decades of experience in law enforcement, national security, and tactical response.
So real-world experience, not just theory.
Exactly. They've been in high-stakes situations. They understand threats in a way you only can from direct experience. They've trained military personnel, law enforcement, private security.
And now, increasingly, faith-based organizations.
Which tells you something, right? It shows that houses of worship are now recognized as needing that same high level of strategic security planning. It's a sad necessity, but the expertise is crucial.
But a church isn't a military base. The environment is totally different. Does Valortech get that?
They seem to. The source stresses their approach is consultative, respectful, and mission-aligned.
Okay, that's good. Mission-aligned.
It means they work with the institution's values. It's not just imposing a security plan, it's integrating it into the community's culture and mission, securing their ability to be a faith community.
And they mention a key figure, Herfel.
Yes, Herfel. His background exemplifies their expertise. He's a distinguished firearms instructor, a competitive shooter, but more than that, a 30-year career focused on safety and tactical excellence.
30 years, that's deep experience.
And he holds an extensive array of credentials and licenses in law enforcement and firearms education. It shows a depth of knowledge and authority. That kind of seasoned leadership builds trust, which is vital in this field.
Okay, so Valortech has the credentials, the experience, the right approach. Let's get practical. What do they actually do in their faith-based security training? What are the components?
It's a really comprehensive package designed to build those layers we talked about. It starts with vulnerability assessments.
Okay, what does that involve? Like checking the locks?
It's much deeper than that. They systematically identify all the potential weak points, entry points, blind spots, security gaps, things the organization might not even see.
Like unmonitored doors, poor lighting.
Exactly. Or even how people move during services, creating patterns that could be exploited. It's like getting a structural engineer for your security before the storm hits. Find the weaknesses first.
Makes sense. What's next?
Then, crucial, active threat response drills. This moves it from paper to practice.
The rehearsing the unimaginable part.
Precisely. Training staff, volunteers, even clergy on real-world scenarios. How to react when something is actually happening. This builds that calm under pressure we saw in Michigan.
Simulating intrusions, lockdowns, evacuations.
Yes. Building muscle memory, practicing critical thinking under stress, making the right response more automatic than panic.
Okay. Then there's the really sensitive part. Armed church security team development.
Right. And they cover the whole spectrum, from policy design to tactical shooting proficiency.
So if a church decides they need an armed team, Valortech helps set it up properly.
Exactly. Developing clear use of force policies, vetting team members, providing rigorous, realistic tactical training, ensuring it's done professionally and responsibly.
Which leads right into the next component.
Legal use of force and liability education. Absolutely critical. Knowing what you can and can't do under state law.
Because even with good intentions, you could end up in serious legal trouble.
Absolutely. Or create more problems. This education is vital for anyone carrying a firearm in a security role. And for the institution itself. It forces them to confront the full legal and ethical responsibilities they're taking on.
It's a huge responsibility.
Immense.
Yeah.
But security isn't just about responding to violence. They also focus heavily on prevention.
How so?
Through de-escalation and situational awareness workshops. The goal here is to stop violence before it starts.
So recognizing warning signs. Using words, not force.
Exactly. Training people to spot escalating conflict, understand body language, use verbal techniques to diffuse situations before they become violent threats. It's about being observant and skilled in communication, preventing the spark.
That seems incredibly valuable. Often overlooked, maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
And finally, they tie it all together with communication and emergency protocol plans.
Making sure everyone knows who to call, what to do, how information flows.
Yes, for staff, for the congregation, and crucially, coordinating with local law enforcement. Clear communication chains, designated contacts, practice coordination with first responders. It's vital for a seamless response in chaos.
Okay, wow. Vulnerability assessments, active drills, armed team development if needed, legal training, de-escalation, communication plans. It really covers all the bases.
It does. It's a holistic strategy, addressing the physical building, the human response under stress, the legal framework, the communication. It creates that comprehensive shield, aiming for prevention, detection, response, and coordination.
It makes the idea of preparedness feel much more concrete, less abstract.
That's the goal, to provide a clear roadmap.
Let's make it even more concrete. You mentioned a case study in Central Florida.
Yes, a powerful example of this in action. A congregation there who received threats from a mentally unstable former attendee.
Okay, that's a chillingly specific and unfortunately somewhat common scenario. A known individual escalating threats.
Exactly, a very real danger.
Yeah.
And Valortech's response was notable for its speed and thoroughness.
What did they do?
The source says within 2 weeks, they implemented a layered security posture.
2 weeks? That's fast for putting security measures in place.
It is, and it wasn't just one thing. They established armed volunteer guards for immediate response capability. They put in reinforced access control, managing who gets in, and they provided incident response training for ushers and clergy, the frontline people.
So multiple layers put in place quickly, tailored to that specific threat.
Precisely. It shows how rapidly an organization can shift from vulnerable to fortified with expert help.
And there was a quote from a pastor involved.
Yes, and it really captures the impact. He said, "I never thought we'd need to train for something like this, but now I can't imagine not being prepared." Valortech didn't just give us tools, they gave us peace of mind.
Peace of mind. And that says so much, doesn't it? Beyond just the physical safety.
It really does. It highlights that transformation from reluctance, never thought we'd need this, to profound gratitude. And it points to that interesting paradox. Preparedness often reduces anxiety, it doesn't increase it.
Because you feel you have some control, some capability.
Exactly. Having a plan, the tools, the training, it gives you a sense of agency in an uncertain world. That feeling, that peace of mind, allows the community to focus on its real mission, its spiritual life, without that constant underlying fear.
It empowers them to thrive.
Yes, not just survive, thrive.
So when we pull all of this together, the big message seems to be, well, the quote from the source says it powerfully. In today's world, shepherding a congregation means more than offering spiritual guidance. It means guarding their lives.
It's a heavy statement, but it reflects the current reality. And it leads directly to that other vital point. Faith and security are not mutually exclusive.
Right. That idea that security somehow compromises the mission, it's challenged here.
It's strongly challenged. The argument is that good security actually enables true openness and spiritual freedom. When people feel safe, truly safe, they can engage more fully, welcome others more freely.
Security becomes the foundation, not the barrier.
A foundation for a vibrant, secure faith community.
And it all comes back to that urgency. When seconds count, preparation saves lives. Michigan showed us that.
Those critical seconds, determined by the readiness of the people there. It's the stark reality.
And these principles, assessment, training, layered defense, they apply everywhere, don't they? Not just churches.
Absolutely universal.
Yeah.
Workplaces, schools, community centers, event venues, anywhere people gather. The blueprint for resilience is the same.
Yeah.
Identify vulnerabilities, train for contingencies, practice protocols, cultivate that mindset of proactive protection.
Okay, let's quickly summarize the key takeaways from our deep dive today. First, the threat is real and rising. Violence against faith-based groups is increasing, making preparedness essential, not optional.
Second, success stories, like in Michigan, aren't luck. They are the direct result of training, preparation, and decisive action. It's about the work done before the crisis hits.
And third, expert help is available. Organizations like Valtech offer comprehensive, tailored solutions that provide not just tools, but that crucial peace of mind. They bridge the gap between fear and readiness.
Which leaves us with a question, really, for everyone listening. Thinking about your own world, your workplace, community groups, schools, even your personal safety planning. How do you identify your vulnerability?
Where are the gaps?
And maybe more importantly, how do we proactively build that culture of informed readiness? How do we ensure we're prepared, not paralyzed, when faced with something truly unexpected, something unimaginable?
What steps can you, listening right now, take today to move yourself, your family, your community from just hoping things will be okay to actually having a plan?
Something to really think about. How do we make preparedness a part of our everyday lives, ensuring safety allows our communities to flourish?
A crucial question indeed. That's definitely something to mull over.